We're here at Rockingham. It's Monday morning and it's the end of the summertime, and true to form it's started to drizzle, but that's not going to dampen our spirits because we're here with 13 bikes. There you go, and they're all our MCN Award winners for 2016. So let me tell you why these are bikes of the year. So Chad and I have ridden all of these bikes this year. We're in a very lucky situation where we can do that. And the RCV is our overall machine of the year. It wasn't a hard choice. It's not often that we award a bike of the year to a bike that hasn't won another category. So it's not the best sports bike, because there's another one here we'll tell you about. But we're kind of celebrating its decadence and the fact that Honda have had the balls to actually make a road going RCV. This thing's 140, 150 grand. They're only going to make less than 100 now because there's an earthquake in the factory. They was going to make 200 odd, and yeah, without doubt, it's probably one of a kind. Nothing like that will ever be made again. Chad, you've ridden the Africa Twin, haven't you?
Yeah,
that's our best adventure bike.
2 trips on the Africa Twin this year. One was a couple of days in Sicily, off-road and on-road, and we did a trip down to Land's End with all the competition. Not the quickest bike in this category, not the most powerful, and arguably not the most fun. But we're looking at just over 10 grand, easy to ride, lovely off-road, and dead easy just to jump on and ride. Both me and Michael are off-road experts, but we had a full day in Sicily off-road on these, and they're manageable and easy to ride. So it had strong competition from the Ducati Multistrada Enduro, which has got a lot more power, but that's a lot more money. So the Africa Twin came out as our adventure bike for this year.
And I see the J125 there, so you couldn't have more of a difference from the RCV to the J125, but you did the launch of this, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the launch of this in Barcelona, and I was really impressed. I mean, for a 125, look at the size of it. It's huge, it's comfy, it's cheap, it's based on the Kymco with a few bits of Kawasaki quality added on. It's like the 300 with just a smaller engine, so you get all the benefits of the 300, the loads of space underneath, big pillion seat, doesn't feel toy-like like a scooter 125. Feels like a proper scooter, and easy to ride, good fun, and again priced really competitively, so definitely our scooter for this year.
Here's the MT10, the launch of this is probably one of the last bikes to be launched this year in May. I did the launch of this in Spain, and it was immediately clear that this is one very special bike because it's the first time Japan have made a proper sort of sharp-toothed super naked. And the reason it's so good is really because of its engine. It's got a retuned R1 engine from this year's R1. Just so smooth, so grunty, so manageable, sounds great. Best of all, it's affordable. It's just a shade under 10 grand. And you get things like cruise control with it, ABS, traction control, comfy riding position, so you can do everything on it. We actually stuck a fairing on it and took it to the Nürburgring, and it proved itself to be a fantastic tourer as well. So ex-Diavel.
Ex-Diavel. I mean, just look at it. I mean, it kind of wins just on its looks alone. But compared to the cruiser market, we sometimes say that bikes have moved on the segment or set a new rule. And the ex-Diavel kind of has done that. It's got the most rider aids of any kind of cruiser bike. It's got the best handling of any cruiser bike. It's got massive power. We ran it against the VMAX of Bruntingthorpe, and the VMAX is actually quicker to 100 miles an hour. But the VMAX is like 65 kilograms heavier, and it kind of runs out of puff, where this will keep going to around 150 miles an hour if you can hold on. I speed tested this in March to 148. My arms are still recovering now. Stunning rider aids, electronics, handling, cruiser, epic bike.
Looks great too, don't it?
I just love the look of it. Every time we go anywhere on one of these, everybody wants to look at it. You've got to be brave to be a pillion, but apart from that, a great cruiser.
BMW S1000 XR is our best sports adventure bike. Now this is won the award for the 2nd year in a row. Is that good? It's had stiff competition this year from the new Super Duke GT and of course the Multistrada. But we did a group test of this earlier in the year. We took the bikes to Austria, Italy and Germany up in the Alps. And this has kind of got the best balance of everything. The KTM's the sportiest and it's probably the most fun to ride. The Multistrada's the comfiest. And this is kind of sits in the middle, sort of mummy bear's porridge. It's fantastic. It handles and goes like a super bike, but it's really comfortable, and you've got all the little touring accessories that go with it as well. So
deceptively
really
quick sports touring bike, brilliant bike. Really
let's see what else we got. So let's go back over here, Chad. Panigale 1299S. Now this is a weird one because this isn't new for this year. It came out last year, and it didn't actually win our thousands test last year, but it did this year. And it's a strange one. The reason why is because the R1 won last year, but after a year living with these bikes, which is the point of us having long-term test bikes, Tim Thompson won one of these last year, and it actually proved itself to be far more practical and reliable and nicer to ride on the road than the R1. The R1 was just too harsh, very uncomfortable seat, and of course they had the gearbox recall as well. During our thousands test this year, this was actually faster around the track than the R1. We went to a different circuit, which just kind of goes to prove how close they all are, because they're all within tenths of each other. But we felt we couldn't give the R1 the award again this year, and the Ducatis deserved to take #1 spot. So we've changed our mind, but I think in life you're allowed to do that. They're all stunning bikes, but it is still something special, pound for pound, and it is expensive. It is the best sports bike you can buy. On to the MT-07.
MT-07, hugely underrated, really fun bike at a really good price. I've spent loads of times on bikes like the ER6 and SB650 racing in the lightweight class, and the MT-07 really is such a fun bike. We rode this for a day around London with a couple of couriers, and they just thought it was epic. If I was commuting and I just wanted something in the town, in a city, fun, value for money, brilliant bike, really good, and it looks good.
It's like the modern day LC, this bike.
In many ways, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Surprisingly amazingly good, isn't it?
Yeah. If you see one of these at a bike meeting, or you see somebody riding one of these, don't think of it as like a learner friendly. I mean, it is easy to ride, but it is still really good fun.
And we've got a Tracer, Chad, this second year in a row. This is one as well.
Again, I mean, Yamaha just seem to be just hitting all the marks.
The MT range is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've got 3 Yamahas here in our top bikes of the year. Really good bike. I've done a huge amount of miles. Comfortable, easy to ride, lovely smooth engine. They changed the fuel in a little just to make it a little bit smoother, but that's kind of the only real downside. If you want to really attack it, the front forks are a little soft when you're going really harsh. But apart from that, a really good bike. You don't need much more to go around Europe on.
You see loads of them around as well, really popular. Yeah. So let's talk about the Triumph Thruxton R. Now, I'll be honest with you, this nearly was our bike of the year.
Yeah.
It's a bike we're all looking forward to riding when we first saw it launched at the end of last year. And when we've ridden it, it's such an impressive bike, and of course this is the style at the moment. These are the cool shaped bikes, the cafe racers, the retro bikes, and not only does this look like the old Triumph, so it ticks all the boxes in the styling department, it goes and handles like a modern bike.
Yeah.
You know, even to the point that you can do silly wheelies on it as well. I mean, it's just amazing.
You rode it at Brands Hatch, track day it?
Yeah, we track dayed at Brands Hatch. You can comfortably keep up with other riders in the fast group. We've done tests. We actually did a test where we took it around the UK and did a lot of kind of Triumph-y, Thruxton-y things with it. We took it to Thruxton Circuit. We put it up against the older Thruxton. Went to the National Motorcycle Museum. Any excuse to ride it really, but it's our best retro of the year. Then we've got CBR 500. This is new for this year. Not so different from the old one, but a few tweaks. It's a bit smoother. It's got a hinged fuel cap, which makes all the difference. Different styling, but this is great, absolutely great. This is the best A2 license friendly bike there is. It's our best sub 500cc bike, and I've ridden it quite a lot actually. You never really know that it's a small bike, especially when you see it in the mirrors. You think it's a VFR 800. Yeah. It's really good value, really good performance, and a well-deserved winner. RT, Chad. This is a bike close to your heart.
This is my actual bike for the year. Again, it always seems to come out on top in the sports touring category. It is expensive, over 15,000 once you get to this spec, but if you just want to go from A to B really quick, really smooth, in perfect comfort, there's no better bike. You could throw everything in the panniers now and you'd be in the south of France later on this afternoon. It's so comfortable. The rider aid is huge, semi-active suspension, traction control, ABS. We've got a stereo, heated grips, central locking, cruise control, different lights, electronic adjustable screen. If you need it,
it's got everything.
It's got it.
And it's not too big and cumbersome, is it?
No. I mean, I took this around Cadwell Park only last month, and it didn't disgrace itself. Okay, it's in the middle group, but it wasn't, you know, nothing overheated. The brakes didn't fade. The tyres worked okay. The handling was fine. The ground clearance wasn't too bad. And yeah, you can really make it hustle.
And then finally, CB125F. This came out last year. This is one for the second year in a row as well. And what can you say about it? It's a workhorse, isn't it? It's not an RCV, but it just goes to prove that we're very diverse here at MCN. We don't just like sports bikes, you know, everything kind of tickles our fancy. But
really, what it comes out as well is really good fuel economy, and really well priced. So you're looking, I think the figures we were looking at, nearly 90 miles per gallon, close to 100 if you're taking it steady.
So real cheap to run.
Cheap to run. You compare that to like a tube ticket or a train ticket within London or any major city, and this is going to be cheaper than catching the train, and at the end of the year you've still got a bike that's going to be worth X amount, and you're going to have some fun. I'd much rather be whizzing through London on one of these than stuck on a tube. Exactly.
Not the most glamorous bike in the world, but arguably one of the most important, really.
And big sellers.
Yeah, gets people onto bikes. So that's why we've all won.